Hi, I'm Gabby.
Ruben,
I'm Damarcus.
Adriana.
Alejandro,
not surgeon.
not surgeon.
And we're going to be talking about the whale rider. So, what are some things that we found persuasive in the movie?
I thought the granddaughter was. I thought the granddaughter was very persuasive because she kept going back to the grandpa to make him believe that she was the leader, the chosen one. And in the end, she ended up being able to prove herself to him by riding the whale.
I also thought that the grandfather was very sort of persuasive. He was trying to persuade his older son to try it again and get married and have another son so that he could be the leader of the tribe.
Yeah, like he even set up the school teacher to come to the house and watch the slideshow, and then they got that unexpected surprise that he was already with another woman.
And he wanted to know the sex of the baby that the new baby that the dad was having.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the grandpa accepted the girl because I don't think they were part of the culture that they were in. If she was from Germany or something like that, so he wasn't as accepting.
He wasn't really happy that she wanted to be over there and have the baby over there. And he said the son said that the family was over there. And he's like, we're family too. Like, but the son already knew that the father wanted the baby there to continue with the tradition as the grandfather wanted.
And the grandma was also persuasive to the grandpa at the end because she gave him the tooth, the whale tooth that Paikia found for him a few days later after he threw it, and that helped him or her convince him that Paikia was a good leader and that she was strong.
Yeah, she seemed like really quiet and laid back, but it was like she knew the right moment to give it to him. Like when the second son gave it to her, she said he's not ready. Like she knew the exact moment, like when was the best moment to strike to convince him that the granddaughter can be a leader.
Yeah, that was really powerful use of persuasion.
Yeah.
The granddaughter, who was also really persuasive because she kept going against the rules that the grandpa had, right?
Yeah, the traditions.
The traditions that only man can do it.
But that's how the grandpa was persuasive too. He just told her she couldn't do it, and why she couldn't do it, because only men can do it, firstborn, all of that.
And then the little girl Paikia, she was adamant about trying to prove that she was the chosen or the leader, because she even went and asked the uncle to teach her how to use that stick, the fighting stick. That's it's real important in their tradition. So she was.
Yeah, she was even able to like fight one of the boys, behind the school, and she was doing the thing with the sticks, and she was able to disarm him, like take the stick away from him, and that's when the grandpa caught them. And not only that, like when the boys would ride the bus, she was on the bike and she was like pedaling faster, like she passed the bus. She just had this willpower to prove him wrong, to be able to show him that she is a leader.
She was sort of like a social outcast in their little community because she always wanted to be like the boys and try to prove she was a leader, but she didn't care because she knew that's what she was supposed to do.
Yeah, she felt it. I mean, even when, because she was about to leave with her father, but then that's when I guess she looked, and she seen that, or I guess she sensed that the whales were telling her to come back because the tribe was in danger. So.
And I guess a more effective way that the grandma could have been persuasive, she, instead of just saying that one time that the granddaughter, that Paikio was a good leader. She could have been trying to make him think that the whole time, the little girl's lifetime,
Mhm.
so that this whole process wouldn't have had to take so long. But I guess the grandpa was really hard-headed, so it took something
He
really
was
big.
a hard-headed, yeah.
Yeah.
I know in the beginning when he tried to get the rope and start the boat.
Oh,
he
yeah,
couldn't
that's
do
right,
it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
every time he started it, he wouldn't believe it. He just said, "Don't do that.
Don't do it, yeah.
I guess he was more mad that she did it and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he was a real man and she was only a kid and she was a woman.
Yeah. So, I guess the culture played a huge part in the movie too. Obviously, the whole movie.
Yeah.
How do you think it's the culture used persuasion as a whole in the movie?
I think it was the grandpa just wanted to stick to the norm of his ways. Like he was so scared that he was gonna pass and this tradition wasn't gonna carry on. That the firstborn son had to be a leader and the women had to I guess be in the kitchen. Like for example, when the school, all the women were in the kitchen and all the boys were in the room. And like when the granddaughter wanted to start the school, he said that she had to stay in the back, and she didn't. She refused to move from the front seat.
She could take that. And then I also think the way like the way the men greet each other, just like they're rubbing the
I know.
almost. It's kind of weird.
It was again the grandpa being really persuasive to the granddaughter at the beginning when they had their concert or whatever. When she was performing with all the boys and doing the chant, when he constantly said no, 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 you can't be around. At the end, she was in the girls' performance doing the girl dance, and so and that also has to do with culture because she was singing their typical, where are they from? New Zealand, that song.
Yeah.
I think he probably just didn't want to break tradition because so many ancestors were the firstborn, their sons and everything, and that he didn't want to just mess it up. At the beginning, he was like, towards the end, he was talking about how when she was born, what she was going to live with her dad, how when she was born, everything started going bad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he was so strong on it being a firstborn son. Like he of course, someone would be distraught over losing a grandson or a baby, but it was like he didn't even want to touch her. Since he walked in the hospital room, he said, "Get her out."
He didn't even want the girl.
The girl to be in the same room.
All he said was, "Where's the son? Where's the son?"
Mhm.
Yeah, that's when the dad just left out the room.
That's a lot of pressure for the dad, and that's probably why he didn't feel the need to stick around for his daughter, because the grandpa made it seem like she was unimportant.
Yes.
How about the uncle? Maybe that's why because he said he won the tournament with the stick thing, and probably he was really good at it. And looking at all the things that his dad did that he didn't like, that's probably when he didn't care anymore about it and just started drinking and taking drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could tell like he had even won a tournament. Like he was really into the culture too, but the grandfather was so
Precious.
strict
He
about
wasn't
it
the
had to
first
be
one.
a firstborn. Like that was the tradition. So even though the second son was willing to accept their culture, he didn't want him to be
Yeah,
the leader.
and that's too bad because he could have been a really good leader.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the grandpa had a lot of impact and power in the community.
He did.
He was the leader.
Just we have to theater.
He was the leader.
He couldn't see that there were other ways to live. Like the girl could be more powerful, or she could have a say, and maybe other members of the family could, like the second born. But you wouldn't know that because the culture had such a strong power over it. Yeah.
It couldn't catch up the new time that a girl could probably do the same thing a boy could do.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hard headed.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I guess, yeah. All right, guys. It was really good.
Yeah.
See you in the Philippines.